she went to a native doctor for help after 12 years of being childless. But what he gave her to drink was not for a child. It was a love potion. And the moment she swallowed it, she forgot her husband and fell in love with him instantly. For 12 long years, Lola had no child. 12 years of waiting. 12 years of silent tears. Every morning, she woke up before the sun, cleaned the house, cooked for her husband Bayo, and pretended everything was fine. But it was not. In the quiet of the night, when the world was asleep, Lola would cry softly into her wrapper. Her husband, Bayo, loved her, but the pressure was too much, and his mother made it worse. One evening, the old woman stormed into their house, her voice loud and sharp. "Bayo, how long will you continue like this? This woman has tied your destiny. Marry another wife." Lola stood in one corner, her heart breaking into pieces. Bayo said nothing, and that silence hurt more than any insult. One afternoon at the village square, women were gathered, discussing family matters. As Lola passed by, the voices suddenly became louder. 12 years, still no child? What kind of woman is that? Maybe her womb is closed forever. Some women laughed quietly. Lola slowed down, but did not stop. Tears gathered in her eyes, but she refused to cry in public. As she walked away, one old woman shook her head. "A woman without a child has no voice." That statement pierced her heart deeply. That was the moment something inside Lola broke. That night, memories flooded Lola's mind, her wedding day, her laughter with Bayo. Then she heard her mother-in-law's voice from outside. "If she does not leave, I will bring another wife myself." Lola's hands trembled. Tears rolled down her face. She looked up and whispered, "God, if you don't help me, I will help myself." That line hit hard. That was the exact moment she chose the wrong path. The next morning, before anyone woke up, Lola made a decision. She tied her wrapper tightly, wiped her tears, and left the village. She walked for hours, across dry paths, through thick bushes, until she reached a place people feared. A lonely hut stood there, the house of a powerful native doctor. The air around the place felt heavy, like something was watching. Lola stepped inside. The native doctor sat quietly, his eyes dark and knowing. Before she could speak, tears rushed down her face. "Please, help me," she cried. "My husband wants to send me away. I have no child. I have nothing." The man did not speak at first. He slowly looked at her from head to toe. He saw her beauty, and something wicked entered his heart. Without a word, he brought out a black calabash filled with a thick, dark liquid. It smelled strange, unnatural. "Drink this," he said calmly, "and your womb will open." Lola hesitated, but desperation is a dangerous thing. She closed her eyes and drank it. The moment the liquid touched her throat, a strange wind blew through the hut. The fire flickered wildly. Her body shook. Her eyes widened. Then suddenly, everything changed. She looked at the native doctor again, but this time not with fear, with love. Deep, unnatural love. She ran to him and hugged him tightly. "My husband," she whispered softly. The native doctor smiled. His trap had worked. Lola smiled again and held the native doctor tighter. That same day, Lola never returned home. Her memory of Bayo vanished. Her past erased. She began a new life in the forest as the native doctor's wife. Back in the village, night came, but Lola did not return. Bayo waited and waited. Morning came, still no Lola. Panic began to rise. They searched the village, they searched the farms, they searched the river, but Lola was gone. Days turned into weeks, weeks turned into months, months turned into years. People began to whisper, maybe she ran away, maybe she is dead, but Bayo refused to believe it. Years passed. Bayo grew older, but his love did not fade. Many advised him, marry another wife, but he shook his head. Lola is still alive, I can feel it. People mocked him, but he did not care. One night, after everyone had given up, Bayo sat alone outside his house. Rain was falling heavily. He looked up at the sky and shouted, Lola, if you are alive, come back to me. His voice broke. He fell to his knees and cried like a child. I'm sorry, I should have protected you. Bayo's mother was inside. She looked at Lola's empty room. For the first time, she felt guilt. Her voice was soft now. Maybe I pushed her too far. She sighed deeply. If only I had been patient. One hot afternoon, a strange woman entered the village, a traveling prophetess. As she passed Bayo's house, she suddenly stopped. Her body froze. Her eyes rolled back. Then she spoke in a deep voice. The woman of this house is not dead. People gathered quickly. Bayo rushed out. Where is my wife? He asked desperately. The prophetess looked straight at him. She is alive, but her soul is tied. She is living, but not as herself. The entire village went silent. She brought out a small bottle of holy water. Add this to your bathing water. Then go beyond the forbidden forest. But be warned, not everything that lives there is human.
Bayo prepared himself. After bathing with the holy water, he began his journey. The forest was dark. Strange sounds filled the air. At night, shadows moved. He suddenly hears Lola's voice calling him, Bayo, go back. He stopped. The voice sounds real, but then he remembers the prophetess's warning. He closed his eyes and said, that is not my wife. After days of walking, he found it. The hut. There, in front of the hut, was Lola. Alive, beautiful, but different. She smiled, but not at him. She was cooking for another man. Bayo's heart shattered. Lola, he called softly. She turned. Her face hardened. Who are you? She snapped. Why are you calling my name? Bayo froze. Tears filled his eyes. It's me, Bayo, your husband. She stepped back in anger. Leave here now, before my husband returns. At that moment, the native doctor stepped out and laughed. The wind changed instantly. You came for her? The native doctor said mockingly. She belongs to me now. Bayo held the holy water tightly. Release my wife. The native doctor began to chant. The ground shook. Trees bent violently. Dark forces gathered. Bayo began to pray. In the name of God, release her. Lightning struck. Thunder roared. The two forces collided. Incantations versus prayers. Lola suddenly screamed. She held her head tightly. Her body trembled. Flashes of memory rushed back. Her wedding day. Her home. Bayo's face. She fell to the ground. No, what is happening to me? The native doctor shouted in anger. Stay with me. But the bond was breaking. Bayo ran to her. Lola, come back to me. She looked at him, this time with recognition. Tears poured down her face. Bayo! With a final scream, The spiritual bond snapped. A loud thunder cracked the sky. The native doctor fell back screaming. His body began to burn, as if consumed by unseen fire. Within seconds, he turned to dust. Silence filled the forest. Lola lay weak on the ground. Bayo held her tightly. She cried deeply. "What have I done? I left you. I forgot everything." Bayo wiped her tears. "You didn't leave me. You were taken." They returned to the village, this time together. At first, people were shocked to see her. Some whispered, some stared, but Bayo held her hand tightly and walked her into their home. "This is where you belong," he said softly. Lola broke down in tears. Days turned into weeks. Lola struggled with guilt. Sometimes she would sit quietly and cry. "I left you, I forgot you," she would say. But Bayo would gently wipe her tears. "You didn't leave me, you were taken," he would always reply. Slowly, peace returned to their home. Even Bayo's mother, who once wanted another wife, became quiet. After everything she had seen, she said nothing again. Then one morning, Lola woke up feeling different. Her body felt unusual. Weeks later, the truth became clear. Lola was pregnant. When Bayo heard the news, he was speechless. Tears filled his eyes. "After all these years," he whispered. The entire village was amazed. The same woman who was called barren was now carrying life. People began to say, "God has remembered her." Months later, on a peaceful morning, Lola gave birth. She gave birth to a set of twins, a boy and a girl. The cry of two healthy babies filled the house. Bayo held them in his arms, smiling through tears. Lola looked at her babies, then at her husband, and with a grateful heart, she whispered, "What God cannot do does not exist." This story teaches us that desperation can lead to dangerous decisions. Lola's pain and desperation pushed her to seek help in the wrong place. Never let pressure or pain push you into making harmful or ungodly choices. Not every solution is a good one. It teaches us that societal pressure can destroy lives. The insults from the village women and the harsh words from Bayo's mother broke Lola emotionally. Words are powerful. Society should uplift, not destroy. You never truly know what someone is going through. It teaches us that silence in the face of injustice is harmful. Bayo loved Lola, but he stayed silent when his mother and others hurt her. Speak up for those you love. Silence can cause as much damage as cruelty. It teaches us that true love is patient and enduring. Even after Lola disappeared for years, Bayo refused to give up on her. Real love does not give up easily. It endures through pain, time, and uncertainty. It teaches us that faith and persistence can overcome darkness. Bayo's prayers and determination eventually broke the evil bond. Faith, courage, and persistence can overcome even the darkest situations. If this story touched your heart, let it remind you of something important. Pain is real, but so is restoration. Delay is painful, but it is not the end. And sometimes, what looks like the end of your story is only the beginning of your miracle. Lola almost lost everything because of pressure and desperation. But in the end, love, faith, and patience brought her back home. So before you give up, before you make that decision out of pain, pause. Your story is not over yet. What lesson did you learn from this story? Drop it in the comments. Someone might need your words today.
Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more powerful stories that teach, heal, and inspire. I love you all.